Hi, it's Lara Cowan here at Botanic Shed. I've created a new series for you on the theme of holding on to the lessons that we've learned from COVID, hard though they are. I'd love you to remember all the streams and trees that you've discovered during lockdowns, all the birds that fill the skies, the joy of family and friends time, the hard facts you might have had to face up to in facing your personality traits that you've been able to run away from or someone else's, the importance of looking after yourself when you see those things come up, the importance of community, and the value of your smile on other people's faces. So I hope you enjoy these series, and I will see you soon. Please click subscribe when you're watching. Thank you. Bye.
Hi all, I am not in the shed. I'm at somewhere called Caversham Lakes, which has just opened up. It was reminding me of France, French holidays, where people go and have a lovely swim with their families in the middle of the countryside when there's no beach nearby. It's very pretty and windy. I'm here with Zoe Warren today in her beautiful sanctuary. Zoe I met in the woods out near Reading and Wasing. And she sort of bounded over in a very beautiful way. She's a yoga teacher and a movement and dance sort of expert. And we spoke, and I knew straight away when she was talking about what she's learned from lockdown about holding on to our experiences. And I thought she'd be one of the most perfect people to be part of this series to talk about, you know, holding tight, for want of a better word, because actually the book by the National Galleries called Hold Tight that Kate Middleton has been involved in, and it's I think I see that as holding tight to the lessons we've learned from COVID. Zoe has her own experience to explain, and I'll invite you, Zoe, to just explain to us a little bit about where you are and what your overall experience is, and how you can help us hold tight and learn.
Yeah, sure. Well, hi, thank you so much for having me on, Lara. It's lovely to be chatting with you. And I am, at the moment, I'm in Hampshire, and we live on a stud, which is beautiful. So there's about 150 horses on the place and about 50 foals running around. So it's a really beautiful valley. And yeah, so we've been in lockdown here, and Lara and I were just discussing how, you know, for some people, lockdown was this real pause, which was obviously challenging, but also had some benefits. And for some of us with young children, like myself, I've got 3 young girls, it was unbelievably intense and busy. But the things that take you almost to breaking point of patience and of, you know, all those things.
Mental resilience.
Yeah, actually teach you the biggest lessons. And there's a really lovely quote actually by, which I just brought along, by a woman called Edith Egger, Dr. Edith Egger, and it's called The Choice, the book. I'll lift it up a bit. And one of her quotes says, "Our painful experiences aren't a liability, they're a gift. They give us perspective and meaning, an opportunity to find our unique purpose and our strength." And I think that's a really lovely reminder of what lockdown did for a lot of us. You know, it takes us right to the brink, and there we learn the lessons. You know, there in that moment, we can question, what do we want? Are we living our lives in the kindest, in the most present way? And if we're not, then how can we change it? Whether it's our relationships with our family, whether it's our work, whether it's how we go about our day-to-day life.
Yeah, beautiful, definitely. And it was really nice when you just reminded me that for some people it really has been slowing down, like, and especially people who haven't got lots of young children in the house. And slowing down has really meant slowing down, and not moving around so much. You know, allowing nature to you know fast forward in leaps and bounds. Many more birds are around, much more nature has come up, and even down to our behaviour now. I think, you know, Monty Don has been telling people to leave their lawns to grow, and this is happening. This is all going to happen. But yeah, for some people may not have even realised that they've slowed down so much. That's because they've got like 3 balls or 4 balls of absolute high-sped energy in their house. But you've learned
high-sped energy.
Yeah.
But still the connection, I completely agree with you, still the connection to the outdoors. You know, you're so much more connected to the weather, because it matters whether the sun is out and you can get out in the garden, or whether it's raining, or what you know, your connection to the weather and to the temperature and to all of that as well is vitally important. Watching the birds, you know, seeing spring come round, you definitely notice more. And that was another, you know, interesting fact, that, you know, the whole of life for all of us was rushing along on autopilot. And actually the change, whether it was the pause or the change of our year of lockdowns, pulls us into the front of our brain, into our prefrontal cortex, where we're aware and where we see, you know, whether it's nature.
Why are we on the train every week so many times?
Whether it's nature that you're watching and really seeing and really experiencing, whether it's your own, you know, uncomfortable stuff and your reactions, or your patience or lack of patience in my thing. So yeah, just awareness, I think, is such an important word. Like pause and become aware.
Yeah, and if you can't run away from those reactions all the time, you can actually see them and go, I behaved like that to that person, and you can see I did that again and again and again, rather than if you quickly busy yourself, you kind of can forget that you've done certain behaviours. I suppose people have been able to see.
Agree with that. I completely agree with that. And I think that in the modern world, there's a lot of numbing out of our feelings. So we do things in order to cover up our feelings, whether it's exercise, whether it's yoga, movement, and instead of it being to look at our feelings and look at ourselves and accept ourselves and understand it, it's done to like, oh, I feel better now, I feel better, but you're not actually looking at what's there.
And we've got so much growth to do. We kind of stunt ourselves. There's some, you know, well, with all the systems and processes that are put in place, and since, you know, how can you see a 2-year-old, you know, that gets so immensely intelligent and intuitive, and then we sort of slow down and just like, we just love but now if we can be aware and in touch and in tune with nature, and in tune with our fear and anger and joy, and, you know, the work that you do with the movement and dance, the releasing stuff is absolutely awesome. If we're going to try to tell everyone or what you would say is your new mantra and where it came from, in terms of really trying to not like just suddenly speed up when these doors open on May the 17th and June the 21st, hopefully forever, but how can we, what's your kind of, what are you saying to yourself? And if it
so I think a really lovely practice for that is a practice of gratitude, and is, you know, it doesn't have to be at a certain time of day, although sometimes first thing in the morning is a nice thing to do. And I have rocks around my house. So I have a rock in my car, I often have one in my jacket pocket, I have one by my bed, and every time I see the rock from a happy walk on a beach, I pick it up, and it reminds me to pause and be grateful for the things that, you know, for my life as it is, and whether that's the weather, or whether that's my breakfast, or whether that's, you know, some fun I've had with my children. It just stops us rushing past the moment and like pulls us back into the present. And I think gratitude.
So they're your rocks. That's so cute. That's so
rocks everywhere.
An actual rock, yeah. I have as well. I've got these on my mantelpiece. You know, I pile them on top of them to do these little mini, like people who make those wonderful sculptures. I've just got like three stacked high, because that's as much as I can do. Yeah, but I'm sure lots of people can identify with that, and having collected bits of nature, specifically rocks from happy times. That's awesome.
Using them to remind you.
Yeah.
What's good. Our brains are so hardwired to the negative, aren't they? We so often go what we haven't got, or what we've done wrong, and actually
what we shouldn't do. Yeah.
So much good to be found.
Amazing. That's a brilliant mantra. So in 3 words, it's hold on to your rock and be grateful. Or not 3 words, I won't really well. And do you want to use this time to thank anyone for helping you through, or learning any lessons that you have, or credit anyone who you think's done a big turnaround, or been through a big struggle during this time?
Yeah, I'd say a massive well done to anyone who's not in a family unit, because those on their own, it's been an immensely different experience for them. And so, yeah, really well done, and welcome back to the world as we all come out of it again. And also a thank you to my children, who have tested me to my utter breaking limit and taught me a lot of lessons.
Aww. What's their names?
So there's India, Zaylee and Coco.
Oh, sometimes they can look back on this in years to come. Full grown up.
Exactly.
Amazing. Well, it's been really, really lovely talking to you, Zoe. And it's been an absolute whirlwind for a lot of people, a massive turnaround for some, and maybe for some others that they might not realise that there has been some positive stuff come out of this, because it's been such a struggle and there's been a lot of loss. But it's about connecting with other people and sharing their stories, and we all are all part of each other's stories, and we're all part of each other's families. So
absolutely,
for those people who weren't in a family, I think hopefully the next time we go in, and we if we do have to go in anything like this again, we're already set up, aren't we, to hold hands and be in a community tighter together.
Support. Definitely, community is so important. I completely agree.
Yeah. So yeah, lovely speaking to you, and I hope this message reaches lots of people to try to hold on to what we've managed to change. We haven't decided to do it ourselves, but the world has changed. Nature has definitely benefited, hasn't it? And we don't want to rush out and make a waste of it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Lara.
And lots of love to your children too, and all the foals out there.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, thank you so much for including me, though. You're so wonderful. It's very, very, like, I'm an honour to be on your channel. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Well, to be honest, it's so nice to be able to know so many people who are able to be on it and not give me pressure, you know, in the early days. Like, so to be able to speak to people who are so, well, I think you definitely deserve to be on loads more other channels, but it's also no pressure for me, because it's not like, so it's like, so his PR team is going to be like, when is the thing coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's important. Exactly. It's not all just the big names that have the answers, you know, often they're just the shiny marketers and the kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also they often can't be very honest, or they're all on, you know, saying one thing because it's all part of their campaign. I hadn't thought of that before, but it's just,
yeah, I completely.
Also, yeah, I also found that doing this is some people I've spoken to has like made me think, oh my god, I actually have a lot to say, and they suddenly spurred on and suddenly started doing lessons and stuff. Or it's really sweet.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Exactly, that's really good. It's so nice to give a voice to people who don't always have a voice, and encourage other people, everyone, to tell their stories, and everyone is as valid as the next person, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I really enjoy doing it because I love talking to people. I would actually like to talk for longer, but I think it would be good. Yeah. And my daughter really loves all these different podcasts. And then she was on this podcast the other day. It was on Vice, and it's like an hour long. I was like, oh my god, it's an hour long podcast. That'd be just crazy.
Amazing.
Who could listen to? Who would be interested in listening? And suddenly I listened to it. I was like, that is just.
Yeah, I listened to the Dr. Chatterjee podcast, so like an hour.
He's really nice. Yeah.
But also, exactly, I think that thing of like, we're so used to quick information and short, and we have no attention span, and actually people are turning back to longer conversations and slow and not instant gratification of like, I want that now. Slow build.
So I'm probably going to start it off like that, and I'm probably going to have to just relax and go into. And Taya told me something else, which is, I can't remember what it's called. Something to do with people who actually follow videos, which are the sounds of people eating.
Oh yeah.
You heard that?
And like opening wrappers and things like that.
Yeah, and opening wrappers.
Just the eating one.
Yeah. I love that, but I just can't. Oh my god.
Yes, some quite weird, wonderful people. I'd like to hear their story.
Yeah. Well, that was really, really lovely. So, have I helped you enough about the what you're doing? Have you watched Tallulah Rendell's stuff? Do you know her?
No, don't.
Well, I did an interview with her, so it's on the channel. But she's into that zone, movement medicine and stuff, and dancing. She does lives and stuff. If you look at her, Tallulah Rendell.
Okay, amazing. I'll look her up. Yeah,
she's a really nice girl. And it was really like serendipitous because I did Ollie Barnett. I don't know if you know him. He's the artist that I did who lives in South Africa.
Okay.
Have you seen his art?
No.
Have a look at his Instagram.
Really?
You will absolutely die.
Okay, amazing.
He just makes nature look really psychedelic and beautiful. And he just said, and I said, oh, I interviewed Tallulah Rendell. And he was like, oh my God, I'm collaborating with her. It's like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
I know, it's amazing. So I think everyone should be all like, figuring out if they should connect, and if they do and it flies, then that's great.
Yes, amazing. Okay, well,
by the way, I really loved your dance video, by the way. It was just like, okay, yeah, this is absolutely I was laughing. It was just great. It made me feel happy. So I did tell you that, and I showed James, and he was like, that is awesome.
Oh, good. Well, a bit of let loose, bit of not taking it so seriously.
Yeah, and everything is okay. Like, I'm just about to. If you just check, have you got a few more seconds?
Yeah.
I'm just about to set out this Instagram post about me, and it's like, I'm really nervous about it. And I was just about to say everything is going to be okay, especially okay, like if we are leaning to nature and stuff, because it can just take us somewhere else, and just even if the worst thing is happening. But what I'm saying in this post, it's quite fun. I feel quite fun when I'm saying this stuff. It's like it's called things about me, which I feel a bit weird saying, but it's just saying about the hectic stuff that went on, and that I was offered antidepressants and stuff, and that's nothing wrong with having antidepressants, but I have said
I think that's amazing. I think real life and honesty and like don't be. I feel exactly the same as you. Every time you put any post up, you feel like you're like exposing yourself, like But you have to know that it's such valid stuff, and try and not look for validation, I guess, from others. Like it is, even if it's valid to one person, like that's amazing.
That could be really, because there could just be the one person who does something which affects all. Because I think everyone runs in little lines, like all that stuff that's how the trees and plants are connected by. There's certain runways, that go in certain directions, and if you go off piste and you're trying to push uphill and somewhere, nothing ever happens. But if you just true to yourself, and you might just light up a new pathway for someone, and there's a whole new family and a whole new adventure, or even something new scientific breakthrough.
You're doing really amazing things in a world full of takers. It's amazing to be a giver, so well done. It's incredible. Lots of love. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Botanic Shed. We're here to help you build vitality and resilience through forging and maintaining a deep connection with nature. This is so incredibly important for the maintenance of good mental health. We are hardwired to respond positively to nature. And through this, by this, we develop a respect for nature, and thereby a respect for ourselves and for others. We can lead far more fulfilling lives. Now, you can reach us at hello@botanicshed.com, or on the social media sites, we're at Botanic Shed. And please do get in touch if you are interested in talking to us about the show or our work. We are particularly focused on supporting young adults and children and their families through horticultural therapy, horse therapy, and woodland therapy. See you next time, and please do click subscribe when you're watching.
Okay.